Story. Scott, you are staying with us to discuss more updates. Russia has dismissed a report claiming President Vladimir Putin urged Iran to accept a zero-enrichment nuclear deal with the United States, calling it a politicized smear campaign. The statement came after Axios published a story suggesting Putin pushed Tehran toward a nuclear compromise with Washington. Moscow's foreign ministry strongly rejected the claim, saying it was intended to stir tensions over Iran's nuclear program. The ministry reaffirmed Russia's position that any resolution should come through political and diplomatic means and said it remains committed to helping find mutually acceptable solutions. The statement also urged international media to avoid spreading unverified information and to cite only official sources. We're once again joined by Scott Faulkner, who's the head of Eagle Enterprises. He joins us live from Washington to discuss this in further detail. Scott, Russia says this Axios report is just a politicized smear campaign. How credible do you think that is, that Putin would urge Iran to accept a zero-enrichment deal with the United States? What's the motive for Moscow in that?
Well, I think that the issue here is that Putin may be trying to have it both ways. On one front, he obviously wants Iran to continue to be a foil to the United States and to the West. It helps divert attention and resources from his own expansionist campaign in Ukraine and possibly other places in the future. So it's important for him to keep Iran viable and in play so that our focus is not just on him. On the other front, he may be saying to Iran behind the scenes, your nuclear program has been crippled. Let's focus more on your client states, Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, and try to do other things along those lines to disrupt the West. So it could be him trying to do a wink at Iran on one front and try to project strength on the other. Again, Russia has always been very opaque on what they really are saying and what they're really doing. And so Axios may have good sources, they may not.
Scott, now let's move on to the nuclear talks. If this report is true, it would mean Russia is pushing Iran closer to a US-favored position. Wouldn't that contradict Moscow's own leverage over Tehran? And why would Putin want to help Washington secure a tougher nuclear deal on Iran?
I think it gets back to his chessboard, which is the Ukraine, that the more he looks like, and again, we're talking looks as opposed to substantively, looks like he's helping America on one key area, it may lessen America's attention to him on the other. Right now, we're waiting on what Trump is going to say on Monday regarding the future of Russia and the future of the Ukraine. And so this may be an attempt to blunt some of whatever Trump is about to issue on Monday.
Now, obviously, we're certainly not coming to an end to that saga, but we have seen an end to the 12-day war. However, Iran's government has long insisted on its right to enrich uranium. Do you think a zero enrichment outcome is realistic at this point, or a non-starter regardless of any outside pressure?
Iran wants to have a nuclear bomb, plain and simple. It's part of their almost genetic makeup of the regime that has run Iran since 1979. They want to be a regional power. Being a nuclear Iran helps them be that regional power or meet that aspiration. So I think that there's already workarounds that whatever is left of the Iranian nuclear infrastructure is already trying to resurrect itself. Thankfully, Israel and other Western intelligence sources are monitoring it closely. And if they move in any really tangible, substantive way, I think you'll see more assassinations, you'll see more sabotage, and you'll probably see more strikes. So so Iran has to really weigh what its future is. At this point, again, as I've talked many times before in these shows, unless there's a regime change, Iran will always be a bad actor in the world, and certainly in that region.
Scott, thank you very much. You are staying with us as we move over to North America for our next story, where President Trump